Hey guys, Mr. here again for another video today, and we are back with our Houston Vikings franchise mode. And in this one, we will be facing the Chicago Blackhawks in the first round of the playoffs. Now, in the last one, we kind of had a bit of a comeback because we weren't looking too good in the standings, and then we brought it back to finally get into a playoff spot, although with the growth from some of our players, I think that most definitely helped us, especially Curtis David now being a 19-year-old, 92 overall first line sniper. We'll hopefully see a great performance out of him in the playoffs. This is, I believe, his playoff debut. Yes, it is. So in his second season, he will be able to play in the playoffs. And Benson, his rookie season, he'll be able to play in the face-offs in the playoffs as well. Defensively, we've got a pretty solid decor right now. Roning and Nickerson, of course, are two main guys. And then goalies, we have Luukkonen and Herbass. Now, Luukkonen has always been great for us in the playoffs. We'll see if he continues that. To be fair, last year, not the greatest, but he did have some astounding games. And then, not last year, but 2 years ago. And then the year before that, the last time we were in the playoffs, he did really, really good for us. So we'll hopefully see him do better again. And maybe, who knows, maybe he could be another playoff goaltender for us. Let's see, though. Is there anything I wanted to check? I did want to see out of players in the AHL. Jeremy Bratt goes up to an 80. I mean, I could call him up. Don't think I need to, though. Rick Ronaldo should be ready for the NHL next year. Hillis still lists as a depth defenseman. Then we have our other defenseman, Stewart. He still lists as a minor top 2. And then goalies, Valette, I think, has gone up. I'm pretty sure he was a 54, now a 55. Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, really, that's it. We're a few years down the line, though, so I don't know how much this team has changed for Chicago. Let's go and see how different it is. Like I said, I'm sure it's really not that different. They have 96 offense, and oh, yeah, it is pretty different. They do have Johnny Gaudreau on their team. 96 offense, 91 defense, 84 goaltending, so the goaltending isn't great. But the other two are most definitely. We have 92 offense. Somehow we have 95 defense. And we do have better goaltending on paper, at least. So it should be an interesting series. They have the better offense to our better defense and better goaltending. Will that reflect in the series? Who knows? Let's go and check out what the Chicago Blackhawks look like. So on the first line, we have Johnny Gaudreau with Rickard Rakell and Patrick Kane. Really good first line. Patrick Kane started to drop off, really. He is now 35 years old, now only an 89 overall, so very interesting. Second line, we have Brandon Saad, who's an 87, with Nick Schmaltz, an 82, and Ryan Johansson, an 87, who is listed as a right winger because I did have him. We had him on the team, and I had him playing as a right winger. Realistically, I should probably send him back or put him back to a center, but whatever, it's fine. Third line, they have Kenneth Weeks. Interesting, medium top 6, 20 years old. He's 82 overall, with Pascal Laberge or Laberge. We're going to go with Laberge. And then Brendan Perlini. On the fourth line, they have Chris Kreider, who is listed as a third liner, but is 81 overall, with Jack Roslovic and Richard Panik. So, yeah, definitely a pretty solid forward core. Their top 6 is really good, that's for sure. Now, defensively, yeah, okay, so their team has most definitely changed. Defensively, Jake McCabe and John Klingberg are their top 2 for the D-core. John Klingberg's obviously really good. Jake McCabe, not as good, and those are their 2 best players. Then they have Tyler Weatherspoon with Colin Miller on the second pair. Then on the third pair, they have Georges Marchand with Julius Bergman. Now, I did notice that Jonathan Toews was not here, and I do believe Toews is a year older than Kane, so we'll see if he is injured or not. But then checking Chicago's goaltending, they have Anton Forsberg as the starter and Vincent Levasseur as the backup. Now, really, it's not that different to our goaltending tandem, so I don't know how we have such a better overall. Michael Grabner is a scratch player. Then they have Staubitz, who is just scratched, and O'Gara is scratched as well now. So that is their team. I do want to go see if they do have anybody injured. Now, arguably, I would say our offense is just as good, if not better than theirs, even though they do have, even though they do have that 90 overall, but we have a 92 overall, and we have 386 pluses in our top two, and they only had two, I believe. So, I don't know. I feel like our team should definitely be better. I feel like the goaltending should be a little bit more even, though. So, yeah, let's go check the injury report really quickly, and let's see. Is Jonathan Toews injured? Is he playing somewhere else now? Honestly, I do not know. So by the looks of it, no. By the looks of it, there are no injuries for Chicago. So where Jonathan Toews is, I couldn't tell you, to be honest. But whatever. Doesn't really have anything to do with us. So let's start simulating the series. We have home ice advantage through the series, and we'll see how we do with that home ice advantage. So, first period of the playoffs this year. It has been a few years since we have been in the playoffs the last time, so let's see if we can come out with our young team and have a good start. First period, not bad. Philip Zadina scored on an absolutely terrible angle against Anders? It's not Anders, is it? What is Forsberg's first name? I do not remember. No, I don't remember. Is it Anton Forsberg? Yeah, Anton Forsberg. Sure, I don't remember. Forsberg. Zadina scores on Forsberg to make it 1-0 for Houston after 20 minutes of play. Getting outshot 10-7. Now time for the second period. Will it be good? Not bad. Richard Panik tied the game. Markkanen gave us the lead back. Then Johnny Gaudreau scored to make it 2-2. Shots 20-16 for Chicago. And we are looking okay. Never mind. Not looking as good anymore. Their second line center, Nick Schmaltz, scores to make it 3-2. Power play for the Blackhawks. And I think that might have been on the penalty kill, or that might have just been right after their power play expired, but Sebastian Reese gets his first in the NHL for the in the playoffs at least, to tie the game, and we head to overtime. All right, not too bad. A 3-3 overtime game. 31-23 are the shots in favor of Chicago. We need to get some more shots in this overtime period to see if we really can beat this team. 37 shots, 38 shots. We have yet to get a shot in the overtime period so far. There's our first, as Chicago now has 44 shots. Coming down to the end of the first overtime period, will we go to a second? 50 seconds left. We will go to a second overtime, and Luukkonen kept us in that last overtime period, so we're going to really need something. Although, it's rare that the first two shots that are being shot in the second overtime does not go in. So let's see, will that be true as well? 47-49, we have a power play. Just get a shot. Thank you very much. And oh my God, Ken Benson scores the biggest goal of his life and scores. Oh my God, that's the biggest goal he's ever scored. Ken Benson with a goal and an assist in his NHL playoff debut gets the overtime winner in Game 1 to give us the series lead. Well, Pekka Markkanen with 3 points as well. So, very, very good. That was a good start from us, I'm not going to lie. Up 1-0 in the series, that is definitely helpful. Let's see how will that reflect. And let's see, Luukkonen, how did he do? A .938 save percentage with 46 saves and a 2.16 GAA. He played unreal. That was actually crazy. That is just ridiculous. I mean, Forsberg had a decent game as well, but crazy to see how what? I already simulated up to the day of game number 2. I didn't even realize, but we won game number 2 as well. Okay, well, I'm sorry about that, guys. I did not mean to do that. Ken Benson has the most point, or is tied for most points on the team now. He got 1 assist in that game. I'm gonna go see. I am sorry about that, guys. My bad. Markkinen didn't get a point that game. Zadina didn't get a point that game. Kristanovich scored in that last game. So did Gibson, and so did Buke. So, yeah. Then Nickerson. Actually, I don't know about the assist. I couldn't tell you about that. But that was a shutout for Lukin in game number 2. He now has a 957 save percentage and a 1.26 GAA. So Chicago did not get a lot of shots that last game, but we did win our first 2 games on home ice of this year's playoffs, which is very, very promising, that's for sure. Now let's go. We'll simulate the game this time. Time for game number 3, this time in Chicago. Let's see, how does it go? Let's see how it goes, I guess. First period. All right, Terry Yoshimura scores to what maybe that is his first playoff goal. Honestly, I'm not too sure. Brandon Saad also scored to give the Chicago Blackhawks the momentum being on home ice and also to tie the game. I'd say that's a win for Chicago, leaving the first period with a tie game, trailing 15-9 in the shots. I'd say that's most definitely a win for the Blackhawks. Second period now, let's see. All right, we score another one. Tim Roning scores. Is it Tim? I believe it's Tim. Tim Roning scores on Anton Forsberg. And we now have the lead again, and it is 2-1 heading into the third period. Shots 22-23 for Chicago. Pretty even so far in the shot category. And Nico Hischier, our captain, scores from a pretty poor angle to give us a 2-goal lead. But Johnny Gaudreau, less than 3 minutes, or a little bit more than 3 minutes later, gives the Chicago Blackhawks a 1-goal disadvantage. Disadvantage, sure. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to use big words, and I'm extremely tired right now. It's just not working out, and we win game number 3 as well. So 3-2 victory for Houston in that game. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with a 36 save performance, 947 save percentage. Hischier, the second star with a goal, and Johnny Gaudreau, the third star with a goal as well. Ken Benson, not looking too bad, has 4 points. Now, actually, one thing that I did, or that I forgot to check, or I didn't notice, I guess I should say, is I did not see David having a point yet, did he? He has 1 assist, and I feel like that was only on the goal that Hischier got, so that's unfortunate. He's taken 10 shots and has not scored yet, so very interesting. We'll have to see more from him soon. Ken Benson is up to an 88 as well. You can see that is most definitely reflecting his growth, the way he is playing right now. Is he listed as a first liner yet? No, he is still listed as a second liner, so maybe that is just stat growth and not actual physical growth. His shot really has not changed at all. He's gotten a +1 to slap shot accuracy, and that's it since we drafted him, so that's very interesting. But it is now time for game number 4, guys, and we have a 3-0 series lead over the Chicago Blackhawks. We could be sweeping them, although this is a really good team. Maybe not the goaltending as much, but Chicago is a good team, and I do not want to sleep on them. Forsberg can most definitely have a great game. Their offense could explode. Their defense could just shut everything down. It could still be a series that is not over, that's for sure. So, having that said, let's go. First period. Come on, Houston. All right, not the greatest start, and of course, it's Ryan Johansson who gives the Chicago Blackhawks the lead in this game. 1-0 for Chicago after the first 20 minutes of play. Shots 12-10 for us. Now time for the second period. Come on, Houston. Terry Yoshimura scores, I believe, to be his second, maybe third goal of the playoffs, or of this round, I guess, as well. And he ties the game. It is now 1-1 heading into the third period. Shots 23-22 for Chicago. So interesting. Let's see. How can we do now? Time for the third period. There's still a potential sweep on the line. Power play for Chicago. They could not do anything with it. They have another one, though. Patrick Kane Obviously, that's a lethal power play. They have Ryan Johansson, Patrick Kane, and Johnny Gaudreau. That was another long power play for Chicago, and it is not looking too good for Houston as we come down to the final minutes. But Curtis David scores his first playoff goal at not. I don't think there's a better time to do it. Oh my God, Curtis David scores to give us another chance to win this game and to tie the game. Look at him, buddy. We head to overtime. Shut it down for us. Curtis David just scored the biggest goal of his career, and it was late, under 3 minutes to go, and he tied the game. That is great. 36-33 are the shots for us, and it is time for the overtime period. Let's see, who will it go in favor of? And it goes in favor of Houston on our 40th shot. Our captain, the first player we ever drafted to this team, Nico Hischier, scores the overtime winner. Our entire top line had at least a goal, or our entire top line had a goal each. Hischier might have had an assist as well. Luukkonen with another 32 save performance, and we have swept the Chicago Blackhawks in the first round. Damn, let me tell you, I was not prepared to see that. Terry Yoshimura is a point-per-game player right now. That is crazy. Let's go and check out the team. Let's see. Terry Yoshimura with 4 points. Ken Benson with 4 points. Pekka Markkanen with 4 points as well. Hischier with 3 points. He did score a goal in that last one. Curtis David starting to step up in the last 2 games, which is good. Gibson has 3 points as well. Zadina with 2. Kristanovic with 2. Nickerson with 2. So looking good from Kristanovic and Nickerson. I definitely would like to see some more offense from them, though. Reese, Buke, and Roning all have a goal as well in the 4 games. And the only players to not have a point are McIsaac, Perrin, and Jocelyn. So interesting. But that is a pretty solid first round of the playoffs. Highest plus minus so far. We have a +5 for Hischier and Yoshimura. That is nice. Curtis David takes way too many penalties, man. Actually, both our franchise players took the most penalty minutes on the team. Now, obviously, we got to shout out Luukkonen because, like I said, unreal in the playoffs. 4 games played, 4 wins, 136 saves with a .951 save percentage, 1.58 GAA, and he has a shutout. Holy frig, the kid is honestly a monster. I couldn't even really call him a kid anymore. He is 25 years old, but Luukkonen carried us to that playoff victory. So, yeah, let's just advance a day or two. Yeah, actually, it's probably going to take a little bit more than that. We will see who we will be facing in the second round. Will it be Anaheim or will it be Winnipeg? That would be interesting. I don't think we've ever played Anaheim in the playoffs before. I believe we have played Winnipeg in the playoffs before, though. I feel like we did one of the last times, one of the last times we were in the playoffs. But honestly, quite frankly, I could not tell you guys. And we will face the Winnipeg Jets in the second round of the playoffs. Obviously, we had a long break, almost a week break, I believe, to then get ready for the Winnipeg Jets. Actually, yeah, I believe that is a week. Or is a week-long break for us, which is always helpful. Actually, over a week. We had 8 days off heading into this series against Winnipeg. So this should be a very interesting one. Stay tuned for the next episode to see us take on the Winnipeg Jets in the second round of the playoffs. The young team is looking good so far. Let me know what you guys think of the team and how we played in the first round. Obviously, no chances. Well, that's not chance. That's not true. There's not no chance, but definitely not as high a probability to play as well as we did in the first round against this Winnipeg team. But we'll have to wait and see. So that is going to be it from me, guys. Hopefully you all did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.